So Mitch McConnell is mic'd up, and he is going to tell Rand Paul, who comes up to him in this clip as you're about to watch, hey, listen, I'm wired, he says. Now, that doesn't stop Rand Paul from telling us their internal strategy anyway. Fun. Let's have a look.
Do you have a second?
I'm all wired up here.
I just did CNN. I just go over and over again. We're willing to compromise. We're willing to negotiate. I don't think they poll tested. We won't negotiate. I think it's awful for them to say that over and over again.
Yeah, I do too. And I just came back from the 2-hour meeting with them, and that was basically the same view privately as it was publicly.
I think if we keep saying we wanted to defund it, we fought for that, but now we're willing to compromise on this, I think they can't. And we're going to. I think. Well, I know we don't want to be here, but we're going to win this, I think.
All right, at the end there, you see the delusion. Oh, I think we're on the precipice of winning. These guys look like the Republicans during the middle of the Iraq War when they're like, oh, victory's right around the corner. We're making progress. We're making progress, as the polls show over and over again that they're actually getting crushed. But the interesting part of that was, oh, they didn't poll test it, right? They're saying they won't negotiate. Now, so that's why you see every Republican doing the same talking point on TV. Oh, they're not negotiating. They're not negotiating. Oh, all we want to do is a simple negotiation. When in reality, of course, those negotiations happened over and over again when the bill was first passed. And then later on the funding, the Senate Democrats have already cut $70 billion. That concession is gigantic, but of course, immediately the Republicans turn around and go, nope, that doesn't count. Now I want new negotiations. Oh, can you believe that? They won't negotiate. But now they let us know on exactly what their real strategy is. Then it reminded me of when Vice President Biden and President Obama would talk about how, don't worry, after the election and President Obama gets reelected, well, the fever will break, and the Republicans will then understand that they could work with this administration. Remember when Biden said it?
Look, I think the fever will have broken. You have this sort of the Tea Party wing of the party controlling their party. I've said this to you before. What we need is a Republican Party. Yeah. We need leaders that can control their party, and I think you're going to see the fever break.
Oops. And President Obama said that several times during the campaign as well. Well, the fever has not broken. We're at a very, very high fever right now. And the Republicans can't see straight. They can't believe that Obama won. And they're trying every trick in the book to make sure that they destroy his presidency. Even if they have to shut the government down, and even if they have to flirt with the idea of defaulting on our debt, which is unbelievable. So I don't know if it's finally gotten through the thick skulls of Biden and Obama. They're never going to work with you. The only way you get them to work with you is by doing serious political damage to them to the point where they give in. Right now, at least, that is the strategy that the Obama administration seems to be pursuing as they hammer the Republicans throughout the country and at their donors. So to give you a sense of how much the Republicans have no interest in working with President Obama, here's Representative Darrell Issa. He says, between elections, he has made himself a dictator. Obama, dictator. I'm using that term deliberately. He's ignoring the laws and doing what he wants to do. Now, in reality, he's referring to a couple of executive orders, like on immigration, you can't chase out the kids that were brought here having nothing to do with their own choices. Their parents brought them here. It's not their fault. And he's saying you can't kick those guys out. You can still continue to kick, adults out left and right. And by the way, President Obama's broken records on that. But as a member of the executive branch, he has the right to do enforcement. And so there's nothing wrong with that executive order. And then he's also got an executive order on coal plants, which he can. It's the EPA. They pass a regulation saying here's the amount of carbon you're allowed to put out. As it's a simplistic way of explaining that situation, but roughly speaking, they have done that, and that's a good thing. I mean, the Republicans are like, how dare you? We wanted to shut everything down. We didn't want you to do anything. We wanted your second term to be a wasteland. And the fact that you're using some of your power now to do dictator, right? On the immigration thing, Darrell Issa says, it's very similar to murdering Indians on the Trail of Tears. Has the fever broken? The fact that you let some of the immigrant kids stay here when they had nothing to do with the decision to come here is apparently like the Trail of Tears, where we massacred Native Americans. No. The fever's never gonna break. The Republicans have lost their minds. They're never gonna cooperate with Obama. They have to understand that and react accordingly. For the rest of your term, for these 3 years, President Obama should do nothing to reach out to the Republicans. All he'll get back in return is talk of dictators and murderers and all this nonsense. He should pound them into the ground until they submit.